Hello everybody, it's Rose here at Butterfly Soul. Hello and welcome, and thank you very much for joining me for this new moon in Aries reading for the 5th of April 2019. Bear in mind this is a very general reading, but what I'm going to do is, if you would like a more personalised version of it, I'm actually going to be offering this reading online for £10 up until next Thursday, the 11th of April, and that's the day before the first quarter moon. So if you would be interested in that at all, if you're watching on YouTube, the details will be below. If you're watching on Facebook, the details will be above. Okay, so thank you once again for joining me, and I hope this makes sense and resonates for you. So I'm just going to do a little bit of an introduction. So what is this new moon in Aries all about? So first of all, Aries is the first house of the zodiac. And so on that wheel of 12 points, it's the first one. And so it holds the energy of fresh starts and new beginnings for the whole year. So coupled with a new moon energy, it's a very potent time, okay, to put out intention. The Aries house itself is related to ourselves as individuals, how we project ourselves out into the world, our personalities, and how we express ourselves as a person. Okay, so it's all about the self and who we are. Okay, so that's the house of Aries. The sign of Aries itself is fiery, impulsive, spontaneous, likes to get things done. It's a very independent sign. And in tarot, represented here, it's ruled by the card of the Emperor, and you can see that he's got the two ram's heads on the throne there, representing Aries. Innovator. I do see Aries as innovators and coming up with lots of amazing ideas. He's the empire builder. He likes structure and progress. And he will not rest until he has achieved his goal. So that certainly sounds like some Aries people that I know and have known in my time on this planet. So the new moon energy, just mentioned briefly before, of course this happens every month. We get a new moon, and it's all about new beginnings and setting intentions for the coming month. Thinking about what we would like to achieve just over those coming few weeks. But because we're in the first house of the zodiac and we've got a new moon, it's actually quite a potent time to actually think longer term and think about the seeds that we'd like to sow, not only for this month, but perhaps for the coming year as well. Because obviously each house of the zodiac has its own energy to add to that as well. So yes, it's just a very potent time for new beginnings and fresh starts all round. So talking of which, the first card, and with this spread, what I've done is I've tried to pick out, do it very succinctly and briefly, but try to pick out certain elements of Aries energy as I see it. So talking of new beginnings and fresh starts, the first card that came out, and this is in the area of the self, and where are we now? Where are we coming from right now? And we couldn't really get a better card. So this is the Ace of Swords. Aces are new beginnings. Okay, so there's an alignment there with these energies. So I see this, my key word for this is the sword of truth. And for me, this sword is about clarity and, I'm going to say, cutting through the nonsense, okay, which again can tie in with Aries energy, a very no-nonsense sort of approach. The words that came to me with this card were clean slate. And in my mind's eye, I'm actually seeing this sword absolutely just almost cutting a tie from the past, or cutting ties from the past. It's almost like, as I say, this clean slate and this fresh start. So we may have been, over the last few months, kind of clearing the decks. And some of us, I know, have been wondering, when the heck is this going to end? You know, it's been a bit foggy. This, I feel, is a choice to cut things away. That would be my feeling with it. It's a choice to cut things away. I think we've come to a point now where we know what no longer serves us and what can't come with us now, okay, as we're moving forward. Okay, so we might also have kind of had the fog lift a little bit here, and I'm almost seeing it like a pair of curtains drawing to the side there, and realise that it's time, either it's a fresh approach to an existing situation, or it's time to move on completely and focus on other things. Um, so with lifting that fog, it's also helpful because now I'm hopeful that we're going to see a clearer path as to where we need to go, because I feel it has been a bit foggy for a lot of us over the last few months. Another phrase that came to me was starting from scratch. So again, the Emperor, Empire Builder, um, he's sort of used to building things from the ground up, but I feel he's also there to remind us that what we've been working on is a foundation. So I feel there's something in this still about what do we need to cut away and what do we need to take with us? Is there anything we need to take with us? And I'm getting the sense with that it's not all of it that we've been sort of honing and cutting things away. And it's almost like we're holding a smaller amount of weight. And I'll come to that in the following cards as well. So card 2 in this spread, and I've assigned this to what makes us stand out in order to get noticed. Now, what I was thinking was that we were actually going to get a card with a little bit more punch to it, with this Aries energy that, that would really bring us to the forefront and make us stand out as an individual. But we have the Hanged Man. And in tarot, you've always got to trust the cards that come. Okay. So the words that came to me was, it's about our ability to let go and move on. So it's very similar with this, okay? And sometimes that can cause a little bit of discomfort, but remember, we're in fiery Aries energy. So I feel there's an actual willingness for us to do that now. I feel it's something that a lot of us really want. It's like an end to this, and let's let this go. And others may be witnessing in us, because it's about how we get noticed, what makes us stand out, our ability to actually do that. There's more of a sense here of taking things in our stride and feeling maybe that a weight has been lifted. So although he looks all tangled up, I almost want to reverse him. And actually, I want to give that message of becoming unstuck, okay? But it's like, as I say, this is about what makes us stand out. So others may be witnessing this. I also got problem solving coming in, because obviously you can see that he's all tangled up in chains there, and how on earth is he going to get out of this? Okay, so this is about problem solving. And again, with the veil being lifted a little bit and seeing more clarity, we may be getting easier access to problem solving, the part of ourselves that is brilliant at problem solving. Okay, so again, other people may be witnessing that within us. They may be asking us, what would they do about certain, what would we do about a certain issue? Okay, because you seem really good at problem solving right now. Okay. So it just feels as though things become easier, okay? And this sword energy can actually be used to cut those ties and untangle ourselves. So I feel one of the keys is that clarity with the sword, okay? If we've been feeling like something has been holding us up or holding us back, the energy of this Aries new moon feels as though it gives us the thrust, and that's the word that came to me, was thrust, like the push, will and movement to launch ourselves forward. It's almost like enough is enough, and again that sort of comes into the next card a little bit as well. So it's actually, this is about setting ourselves free, unburdening ourselves, and having that ability to overcome things very quickly. Okay, and not allowing them to hold us up any further. Okay, again, it's about our choice, It's about our will. You know, fire element is represented by wands, okay, and that's very much about our will. And, you know, where do we want to focus our intent? And this is what I'm going to do, and this is what's going to happen. It's that sort of energy, okay? So it's that choice of untangling ourselves. Okay, card 3. And this is about our focus. What does our focus need to be? Where does our attention need to be? And this is the 7 of Cups. And the challenge with this card is knowing where to focus and what to choose, ironically enough. So it sits pretty well in this position, okay? And Aries energy can either be, I've found, very, very focused, okay, and nothing's holding us up, and very, very single-minded and focused, or can flip from one thing to the other. So you can see that potential flitting from what do I focus on first, okay, so I feel it can be an either or, and this feels like an either or card. It can be taken a couple of ways. So this card also contains the message that whatever we want to bring in, make sure that it is built in reality rather than fantasy. So you can see that all the cups are floating in the air as though there is no foundation to it. So one of the things we might want to think about when we're trying to choose and decide and what to focus on, choose and decide, is, does what I'm about to put my energy into, is it going to create something in the long term? Does it have longevity? Can it go the distance? Okay, is it going to be worth my focus and attention? Is another phrase that's come into mind there. Another message I got with this card is if we've been in an energy of procrastination or getting frustrated because we're feeling stuck, this may be the time to actually harness the energy, the fire of Aries, and tune into the spontaneity of Aries, and just pick something and start doing, okay, without worrying overly about outcomes and where things may end up. That is the key to spontaneity, is just doing it. So there's that energy that comes with this card. And I said, as I say, there's like double message with this. On the other hand, what I'm also being given, if we've been a bit too fiery and a bit too Aries, and just doing and feeling like we've been going around in these circles, is it actually time to step back and review and think about what to pick? Because I feel for some of us, we may have been trying lots of different things to try and make things work and to try and get things going and to try and move on and move forward. If you feel like you're on a bit of a hamster wheel with that, it may be time to sort of step back and review. And I almost want to say, pick the thing that's gonna help the most dominoes fall, that has the domino effect, that's gonna contain as many things getting done within it as possible. Okay, so it's almost that killing two birds with one stone phrase I get with that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, card 4. Okay, and for my spread, I've assigned this as push. What needs a push in my life to get things going? And we have the 9 of Pentacles here. Okay, so the first word that comes to me, again, it's another very Aries word, is independence with this one. So how can we walk more towards our independence and standing our ground, holding our space or claiming our space, staking our claim in our own right? As a general sense, I get the sense that as we shift through this new moon, that maybe we're starting to feel like burdens are lifting. We might feel a little bit more content in ourselves, a bit happier in our own skin, because at this point we may start feeling as though the things that we saw as issues are no longer really issues. It's almost like an easy come, easy go, what will be attitude with this card that I feel we're honing with this new moon. So I feel that makes us less burdened and more comfortable where we are, or happier or more contented where we are, even if our circumstances on the outside haven't changed. There's a sense of individuality with this card. Again, great Aries energy. And maybe that's the part of ourselves that we need to push forward. If we're happy with ourselves and happy in our own skin, that's all we need to know. Okay. And I was given the message also that our inner truth and guidance can be trusted. So, very much Aries energy, time to be ourselves. Okay. So, if there are situations that we are in where we don't feel comfortable about being ourselves, or haven't felt comfortable, I feel this Aries energy is going to almost push forward a stuff it attitude. It's actually quite awake trying to be someone else or to please everyone else. I'm just going to be myself, and that's the person that I'm going to put out into the world. Okay. So I get that the lady in this card is solid in her own right and she is contented. She's happy with what she's grown. But even though this is Pentacles and that is normally about our outer world, the sense that I get with this is actually about our inner world. It's, as I say, nothing may have changed physically, but because there's energy shifting out, this is a new phase, a new moon. It's almost like there's a lot of stuff maybe in our minds and our thoughts and our energy and our hearts that we're actually able to dump. Okay. And I just feel like it makes us feel a lot happier. And again, back to that sword of cutting away. Final card is brilliant because it is a wand and it is a fire card. So again, it's giving me a sense of alignment. We're in tune with this fire energy. And we're maybe grasping the nettle and just accepting the fire energy. Sometimes fire can be a bit overwhelming, depending on your own sign and different factors and who you are. But I just get the sense of an empowered feeling with this. It feels empowered. So I'm glad to see this night because as an outcome, because it just gives me that sense of, yes, we're being in tune with that energy. Okay, so this night can be very spontaneous, and impulsive and get into all sorts of scrapes because of it. Um, and the reason for that is energetically, he's not caring about the consequences. So he has a tendency to jump in with both feet. And he reminds me of the child that would be out all day having adventures, climb trees, come home covered in mud, probably had scrapes on knees. Okay, so it's that sort of child, that sort of energy that just dives in. And I feel this card is encouraging us to be bold and wholeheartedly direct our will to think big. So again, think about the bigger picture, maybe not just the coming month, but what's going to set us up for the whole year, okay? And remember, for any intentions we set, we can refine them at any point, and we'll be going through each house of the zodiac, which will have a different element to it, so you can refine every step of the way. So it's about, I feel, thinking about that bigger picture and being bold and being creative with our intentions. Going back to the Seven of Cups briefly, just choosing which way to go, how to go about it. Do we need to be diving in with both feet and just getting on with it, or do we need to review what hasn't been working, streamline it, and just do a little review, and then put that life force, that beautiful life force fire energy into what we're doing. Okay. So as I say, very general spread. Hope it connects for as many of you as possible, and I hope it's helpful. And if you would like a personalised version of this up until the 11th of April, so next Thursday, I will be posting the details so that you can access that, and that reading will be online. Okay, so until next time, lots of love to you all. Take care, and thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Bye now.